Welcome to the Cafe Night Show. I'm your host, the Goldsmith. It is the 9th of July, 2024. And do we have a lot today? Not really. We have a couple reviews on yesterday, things that have carried through from yesterday to today. Specifically, we have a map asset sale announced yesterday, taking place and being part of the day here today. We do have kicking off into today that's been carrying through is our last cosmetics drops. We saw our last cosmetic drops obviously hit in the game of Upland today. So we'll take a look at that and see what that looks like. And then finally at the end, or alongside everything else that we have going on, or kind of as they go with the new players bundles, that was something that was announced yesterday as well. That did kick off, and that is in for sale now. And we'll see a couple other things, collections that are going to be popping in the game here. We talked about them yesterday. They will be kicking in here shortly. And then just a couple other reviews as they do pop up. What is up with the part in the middle of your hair? Can you put your hair in the middle? Can you part your hair in the middle? Okay. I don't have a brush here, cheese. Oh my God, sweaty. It's like 1,500 degrees. Cheese. One of these. Oh my God. Why did I do that, cheese? It looks horrible. It's not a straight part. It looks ridiculous. Oh my God. Like that? There you go. I don't have the right materials at the moment. But we'll get there, cheese. We'll get there. And we'll make it happen from there. All right, so for tonight, we do want to kick into those things. So we do have a couple of small miscellaneous Upland things going on, including some notes and considerations. Hey, Trees, good to see you. Some considerations with a couple things that may be happening that aren't yet here, that may be coming shortly. It would definitely worth keeping our eyes on. And yes, I look ridiculous now that you made me part my hair down the middle of cheese. All views and opinions expressed by myself, their mind and mine alone. Everything is game strategy or financial advice. I don't represent the game of the team of Upland. Any guest contributors who do have on, they have their own opinion. They're welcome to them. Everything is game strategy or financial advice. I don't represent myself, the Goldsmith, the Cafe Night Show, or the team or the game of Upland. Woo! All right, let's take a look at a couple things. First and foremost, as far as official announcements go today that didn't exist yesterday, I would have to say that our official announcement today would have been our monthly cosmetics or weekly cosmetics during their seasons. We have the very last one, so this is the last drop of the Genesis season. Talked last night about trying to make the best use of the end, the latter part, the very end of Genesis season. We are rolling to the end. We do have a little bit of time. As far as the gamified earnings are concerned, we have about another week or just under a week now, 6 days to go and complete some tasks to get our 5, so we get our 14.7 annualized dividend rate on our properties or our property holdings. So it definitely still have that time. So we definitely still have that time to get that done. I see a lot of talk about the part. I was told to do it, so I did it, cheese. I hope it brings you joy and laughter and I don't know, and fulfills something for you for this fine evening. And again, as we do get into the end of the month and the season, obviously this is a last cosmetic drop. There's no point in buying that pass anymore unless you want to hold on to them. And we did already see Upland do a retroactive burn where they said you can't buy them, but if you have to have the pass and go to the burn of the pass, I don't know if that's going to happen again. I don't know if anyone should plan on happening again. The passes are still for sale, but they are not going to have any utility at this point other than to sit there as fodder to potentially be burned at some point in the future. All right, let's take a look at, why not? Talking about it, let's take a look at it. Over at the store, we'll see that actually at 9 a.m. PT, they finally did. They were still on there this morning. They did actually pull the passes earlier today. So those are done, but we do have our last cosmetic drop. Let's take a look at that. With the last cosmetic drop, we always get this little video. We've heard of the weekly cosmetic drops every Tuesday during a season. If you buy the cosmetic pass, you burn it early in the season, or before the first Tuesday, you're going to get a drop every single Tuesday. If you burn it after the first Tuesday, before the second, you get it every remaining Tuesday not retroactive. You don't get whatever drop the first Tuesday. We're going to take a quick look at what our drops are for today. Watch that video together and take a look at them in the game of Upland, see what they look like. But let's take a look. Here's the announcement. Check out the drop and stay tuned for some rad cosmetics we've got planned for this season. For next season. Sorry, next season. It's next season because we're done this one essentially. Keep in mind that even though we're ending Genesis season, we're not going to go right into Sizzle season. We'll have a break in between. Here we go. Season pass, week 6 drops are live here at Upland. That's the pass. Looks like you should have already booked it by now. Obviously, if you haven't, you still have it. Captain Miles, background. We have the Sky Commander Gaia, background there. And we have the Whirlwind, background. And a fourth. Look at this. A fourth. Is that little gizmo in front of our block score? Key note on this is I think it's official. This is the first time we've had 4 drop at the same time. Kind of fun. And in order to go back and look at the season, obviously Upland does have this review at the end here. Keynotes again. First time I think we've had 4 drop the same week. We talked about the first season that we had cosmetics was 3, and then we had some 2 weeks. It was nice to get 4. It's nice to be a little bit of a surprise. My name is King Cody, and I approve this message. You can ask King Cody. He heard me laughing my tush off in Discord chat in a minute. Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear between Cheese and Cody. It was a humorous thing to see me try to part my hair in the middle live on camera and not to use any parting instruments. So again, we'll take a look at what's happened this season. Keep in mind that next season, Sizzle season, same thing. Buy the pass, burn the pass, cosmetic drop every Tuesday. 3 notes on these cosmetic drops. A, they are not NFTs. You cannot trade them or trade them or exchange them between parties, between wallets. They are permanent, so once you own them, you own them. You can use them during the month that they follow or during the season they fall in within. You can use them within the season they fall within next year. You can use them next month outside of the season that they fall within, whenever you want. Obviously, they're thematically tied to a specific time, a specific event in Upland. However, they are usable forever as a cosmetic display, both to yourself, but as well as to other Uplanders as they see your account. All right, let's take a look at the rest here. Boom, let's go. Genesis 5, property card Bermuda Ride, property card Bermuda Magic, property card Bermuda Bliss, block Explorer background, Genesis Sky, block Explorer overlay, Genesis Wings, Sky Whisper, Silver Streak, Blue Thunder, Hyperhawk, the card, Liberty Lights, the background. Thank you for participating in the 2024 season, Genesis season 2024. And get ready for next season. Sneak peek. Anything? Oh, no sneak peek. They said stay tuned for a sneak peek, for a look at the future. No sneak peek. Again, there's more coming next season. This is something where we're going to see on a every season basis. This is going to be a part of Upland. Again, cosmetics are about changing how you see and how you interact and how you play in the game of Upland for your own experience as well as how people see your properties. Again, as I said, this is not something that is an NFT, not tradable, not exchangeable. You're choosing to purchase for your own aesthetic benefit. The speculating thing, apparently, it was a bigger surprise than we expected with Upland having to burn earlier this month of old passes that people hadn't burned previously. It's not something to necessarily be forecasted will happen again, but it's worth considering that it's happened before. Other consideration is obviously people can collect these as collectibles if they choose for $7. Whether or not you want to do that, that's up to you and your consideration, your own planning in the game of Upland. Let's get back to it. Here we go. In the shop today, they did sell out. I kind of made, not a speculation, but I did kind of make the point. The pricing on this, more or less at market in USD for some limited run map assets. There was the limited 10 of 10 gold. There was 100 of the silver for the Aviation Hero map assets. I kind of would have loved to see this in Optics, but at the price point, at the $12, it was something that seemed to line up with the market. I wasn't too surprised to see it sell out today. Here it is. Here's what it looks like. This gold one is, go figure, exactly the same, except it's gold. Go figure. All right, the 30,000 Optics and Liberty Lights and Bytes still available. 52 of these available at $375. It's $30. You get 30,000 Optics. You get a Block Explorer. It's a random Block Explorer of 3 options. It's an important thing to note on that. Again, you are still getting 30,000 Optics for $30 USD. That's your choice. Like, that's what Upland sells Optics for at any given time. 1,000 Optics to $1. What you're getting as a bonus is this Block Explorer. We've seen in the past, they've done some smaller circulations, some smaller pricing ones. They've seen, a $5 option, 5,000 Optics, $5 get a Block Explorer. I like something like that. The higher price points, obviously, is a bigger question of justification. Is the Block Explorer going to be something you're going to flip? But then maybe if you get enough for it, maybe it's something that Optics is a bonus. If you're going to buy the Block Explorer for the Block Explorer, is the price point right for you? It's always a consideration. Obviously, on this one, it hasn't sold out yet. These sales used to, and they still do, and in many cases, sell out. Question is the price point. We'll see. We'll see next time around if Upwind has some of the lower cost ones to get people that opportunity to buy that Optics, to get that bonus, to get that Block Explorer at a price point that maybe they're an easier entry. $30 for a lot of people. It's an amount of money they may or may not have as disposable funds at this time. We do still have these, and this is going to end here shortly, these ornaments available for Genesis season. Important thing to note is they kind of died off as sales at one point, so later in the month, because part of what we do during the season is we have a contest for ornament decoration or decorating our properties that are in collections that we have structures on to get points towards a leaderboard. Well, once you get late enough in the month, the benefit of buying a ornament obviously diminishes, for this season anyways. So that's kind of something we've seen die off here at the end of the month. Again, price pointing here, USD, no Optics option, kind of had that consideration or that conversation. We used to have Optics options in these ornaments, so maybe that's a difference in markets as far as how quickly these sell or don't sell. Keep in mind, we do have multiple years worth of ornaments in some of these categories. We do already have UGC as well. And kind of what surprised some people is UGC does a really good job in competing on these ornaments, because what people are buying on these ornaments are 2 things. Number one is, does it match the season? In the game of Upwind, you get a benefit for matching the season. You get that point towards the leaderboard helping you earn. I'm switching the part, cheese. That way you can have your own special thing that you made happen, and it didn't stay forever. A limited time basis. Well, you do see that when we do have these limited time boards, obviously there is that benefit that's there, so you can get that from the UGC. And then second thing is there is this idea of the aesthetics, and some people like the aesthetics that come from UGC. UGC can be a little more nimble. When Upland goes and puts something out, you have to think about the broad appeal, blah, blah, blah. If you are a UGC, you can kind of work with your community. If you have your own node and, hey, we all want to put pandas on our roof for sizzle season with a little bit of a bikini on maybe, and I got a little umbrella over my head, and maybe we decide that's what we want to do for Howard Beach, for example, a place that is beachy, a place that is meant to have coastal access and access to the water. Maybe that's something that community decides they want to do. You have a map asset shop, you have manufacturing as well. You send in the design. Upwind says, okay, that's okay. So for sizzle season, poof, you have that structure ornament. You can have that in your community. You design that. You came up with that with input from your community. And poof, it's something they all sell out. 100 of them, 200, whatever. Because you already made that relationship ahead of time. And as your community, you all want to do the same thing. So that's kind of what I see here with this potential competition between the UGC and Upwind selling these. It's great for Upwind to have competition on these. I mean, is it a matter of Upland now has to kind of compete against the price point? Maybe. Upland having the platform and being able to sell it in the Upland store, it's a certain advantage that not everybody has. When we talk about the difference between UGC and Upland selling an asset, either a map asset or properties, or these property bundles that we see here, or selling something like block explorers, etc. The difference obviously is all of the meta ventures are location based. If you want to interact with a block explorer shop, you have to be in the city that it is. You just send your block explorer to that block explorer shop before you can purchase or list your item. Upland has the power of being everywhere all at once. So when you're buying that, in this case, a bundle with map asset, you're buying that bundle that includes a map asset direct from Upland. It doesn't matter what city you're in. You get the delivery. You get this bundle. Essentially, think of it as a box in the mail. Poof, it's in your game. It sits there on the Upland factory where it was manufactured. Then you have to designate a place where that's going to move once you want to move it. So, again, there's a reason why Upland has a competitive advantage there. There's also a reason why UGC has a competitive advantage. Again, being a little bit more nimble, being tied more directly in with Upland communities. And I would love to see that that dichotomy continue to play out. I used to be at one point a little bit more concerned about Upland having that sale advantage, but I see a lot of disadvantages that they have when they go put these sales out, like not working with the communities specifically to build things that those communities want. So I think we'll continue to see it. We'll see that we have certain map assets or structure ornaments that sell for about the same price with a higher quantity on the UGC front because they're what those communities want to have to meet those needs. And Upland, I challenge you to do the same thing. Work with communities, see what people actually want, put map assets out that kind of meet it. Obviously, I don't want Upland to kind of push out UGC, but if they're going to be putting out map assets, if they're going to be putting out block explorers, it's nice to see them kind of tickle people, them be things people want to buy. And again, set them out price points that people want to buy. Maybe 10,000 UPX was the better price point. Maybe you could have sold 3 times as many at 10,000 UPX. Maybe you sell a little less at a $30 and get that more rare block explorer. And maybe having the more rare block explorer, the mid rarity, and then you have the common. Maybe that encourages people to go into one of those baskets, and maybe more people are interested in the more rare because there is a common one to contrast it with. Always a possibility. We'll see how Upland handles this for the next sale around. But glad to see that we had this sale, and looking forward to seeing some UPX ones in the future. What we did have today, if I go back here, boop, 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 some starter bundles. Look at that. There's a starter bundle. So they went back and added stuff into the starter bundles, $22.99. This is interesting. Look at that. 723,000 of those. We have some plus bundles we've had in the past that have been sitting there for so long. And we've got a premium bundle. So Upland's going to continue to refresh these starter bundles. $23. I can get them myself. I've been in the game for over 3 years. I could buy this if I wanted to do so. This idea is basic properties in there. What I would love to see, again, Upland added these in, put these in inventory. People can go buy these and have these. What I'd like to see, love to see, I should say, is if we get a little more here. Purchasing this item grants players 3 properties at a discount mint price from the following cities: Arlington, Kansas City, Las Vegas, and Dallas. That's pretty clear. It's one of those cities. If you buy one of these properties, it's one of those cities. Arlington, Kansas City, Las Vegas, and Dallas. There is a 7.5% chance of receiving a premium high-value property. So maybe the average is blank. You're going to get more mint value. Again, I put my hands up and I say, Upland is considering 1,000 to 1, 1,000 UPX to $1 when they say discount. You're buying in USD. You're going to get more than 23,000 UPX worth of properties. That's what Upland is saying when they say you're getting it at a discount. Let's be clear. The two markets, UPX and USD, they are not at the current moment set at that 1,000 to 1 ratio. There's different properties that, may translate in value differently as different cities. Mint value, high mint values versus low mint values, floor of the city versus mid floor of the city. the USD to UPX exchange rates. Not that there's a direct exchange rate, but the comparisons between the two markets are different at different strata within the economy. So it's not an easy conversion to do. There's not a correct way to look at it, but it is fair to say Upland's calculation of the 1,000 to 1 may not be something that everyone sees as being accurate at this point. But when they refer to the discount, they're referring to more than 23,000 UPX worth of composite, worth of total property value here. And again, that's a little bit better than going and buying those UPX yourself, going and buying that pile of UPX yourself and going and minting properties as of tomorrow. Again, the 7.5% of a higher value property, we don't have a definition there. We don't know that it's a property that's over 100,000 UPX. We don't know if it's a property over 600,000 UPX. We don't know, but we do know that an enhanced value property. The properties will be delivered to the person who completes this purchase. You can't buy and reserve and have somebody else mint for you. You buy, it hits your wallet. And if you're going to go and do something else with that property, you could trade or sell it later, but it's going to hit your wallet before it goes anywhere else, which is an important distinction from what we had previously with these reservations and mint sale options. We had people who just didn't go and mint those properties, and then they go on a second chance sale. And the idea here is if you choose to buy one of these bundles, you're going to end up with the properties. Properties are going to end up in your wallet. Easy enough on that. What I keep in mind on these, this is going to be something that Upland continues to refresh. This is going to be something that potentially are properties, as we can see here. These are all cities that have been minted for a while. Arlington, Kansas City, Las Vegas, and Dallas. These are properties that in many cases had been available to mint and people hadn't minted. These get scooped up and they put into bundles and they get minted out this way. If you wanted to see it that way, it could be seen as these properties should be discounted because they're the properties that people had opportunities to buy at mint price and chose not to buy at mint price. So maybe we could say that the market is stating that the property is not worth mint price. It's worth less than mint price. Could be an argument that could be made there. Again, you are doing this because you want to pick up some more properties in the game of Upland. You're doing this because you're maybe not sitting on UPX. If you're sitting on UPX, it's easy to go, okay, I'm going to go to this city, I'm going to mint this property. I'm going to go to this city, I'm going to mint this property. This saves you traveling between cities. This randomizes what you get a little bit. This allows you to purchase with USD and potentially giving you a little better value, taking the USD, buying UPX, taking the UPX back in the game, and minting properties. Easy enough. That's how this works. That's why this works. And that's potentially what people are getting as a benefit who are buying that starter bundle. It's there. It's in the game of Upland. It's working now. Glad to see it. I kind of want to do this. What I want to see is the share and build airdrop is coming. This site is still up here. At a point not too long ago, we did see this site get actually updated a little bit. Some of this stuff over here is a little new how that looks. Look at that Eiffel. Oh my gosh. Where is the Eiffel Tower? Oh, that's right. Paris. Next city. It sounds like it is our next city in the game. This is interesting. You'll get a Golden Gate Bridge next to the Statue of Liberty in the middle of America, as opposed hanging out by Ellis Island, hanging out the little island out there by Ellis Island. Maybe it's not an accurate map. Maybe, just maybe this isn't accurate, but it is meant to show and highlight the landmarks that are here. This has been updated a little bit. The sparklet with the colors here, this is a little different. It's not the very first images we got of sparklet, but it's interesting. And I want to see something a little bit different when I go and take a look. We do have a sparklet utility page we have as well. And I want to keep highlighting this. This is the www.upland.me/sparklet. So this is our Sparklet utility pages. It kind of gives people the bits and pieces on Sparklet. The reason why I want to highlight it is Sparklet is coming. Another airdrop is coming at some point. We kind of hinted that it's coming. Obviously, it sounds like before the announcement, before the listing. The key thing here is available on Ethereum, made by Upland. The exchanges that it'll be on, we don't know. The date it'll happen, we don't know. Is there going to be a public sale at the same time that Upland's going to sell some of their stock or inventory out to the public, to people outside of Upland? It's possible, because that's part of what's happening here. What's happening here is Sparklet's no longer going to be just inside of Upland. What we expect to happen is the primary source that Upland has kind of discussed is going to be the Sparklet from holders and players in the game of Upland. They're going to have an opportunity to bridge a certain amount of Sparklet, have to meet a certain amount of rules, restrictions, bridge some Sparklet out into their wallets, and then they're available to go and use these and put these in swaps or in stakes, or potentially sell on exchanges once there's exchange listing. So this is something that is happening. It's not happening today or tomorrow. More than likely, that could be surprised, but more than likely not tomorrow. We were told the end of the summer is when to expect it. So definitely something to take a look at. A reason why I highlight it, the reason why I say take a look, is because if you have questions, this is a place to get some of those answers. I know Upland's going to do a little more work here, a little more opportunity to maybe get questions answered, or at least go and put more information out before the actual launch. But it's key to note here, we can get access to a white paper here. We can go to the basics about Sparklet. We can go and see that there's a utility page to kind of tell us a little bit about utility. And the key thing is because Sparklet is going to be an open token, it gives us the opportunity to communicate with people who are seeing Sparklet as a token to see what it is. So this is a landing page where, as people interact with Sparklet, as people read these articles, because there's been a number. I had focused on and looked at a couple specific articles that talk about Sparklet, and they talk about how it's one of the most hotly anticipated tokens of 2024. Again, those are promotional, and some of those are things that are partners working together. Ultimately, a lot of them aren't, or some of them, the ones that have been out there, aren't. They're looking at all the token launches. Sparklet happens to list pretty highly on there. There's already a decent amount of Sparklet that is in circulation. None of it has been exchangeable between parties up until now. So it is a token that has utility, again, inside of the game of Upland. It is a token that there are already a number of holders of, and it's a token that has never had the opportunity to be exchanged or sold, but it has some utility basis to justify some level of value, potentially. So it's interesting. It's going to be an interesting launch, and there's going to be continued utility for it long term, and added utility down the line. And all of those things are going to potentially bring people who aren't involved in Sparklet to potentially want to know more, and that's why this is here. So if we take a look at the utility page, as we have the landing page, kind of defines what Spark and Sparklet are, talks about the denomination that there was Spark, and Sparklet is just a sub-denomination of Spark 1001. We talk about how we have construction in the game of Upland, go figure, how it has implications in digital manufacturing inside the game of Upland, how Spark can be rented, and there are multiple layer 2s that allow renting us. And look at that. There's one right there. They kind of dropped in there. The Epic Spark Exchange. Join the community. Look at all this. I can come in here and I can go to the community, get into the Upland's socials, so I can go and interact with Upland if I end up on this Spark page. And then, of course, the one other thing worth looking at, again, is the white paper, and very important to look at. If you're looking for more details, not found. The landing page wasn't found, but the details are. So come in, you can take a look at interacting with Sparklet. You can see that there's a sandbox Upland sign up here, kind of helping and walking the sandbox, or walking people through. Here we go. Welcome to Upland. Here we go. Walking people through getting in and exploring a city, purchasing a property, getting in and establishing yourself in the game of Upland. Look at that. And this is important. Again, getting into the sandbox, we can kind of play around with Upland. I'm going to get the opportunity to talk about the sandbox here, not so distant. It looks like it's been rescheduled to August. This sandbox is a UGC stuff. There's just so much going on, at any given time that it takes a while to get anyone nailed down. But we're looking in early August to go and have that interview finally on the sandbox and go through and look all that. And there's some other pieces here about using Sparklet and the all the bits and pieces of interacting with the API is all built in there. And then obviously when I look at the main white paper, there we go. We can see all the applications, all the bits and pieces of our Sparklet release or getting ready for Sparklet release here in the not. And again, when we look at the next steps and pieces for Sparklet, we're looking for that airdrop. So watch out, keep your eyes open. That is something that's on the list and ahead this way. Get ready for the city of Paris, not too far down the line here as well. Again, no specific mentions by Upland. It isn't officially our next city. There's just a lot of hallmarks to say it is. And then otherwise, what we're looking forward to in the next week is give me another announcement. Get me another announcement. We are technically ending the season out here. We do have a race series that happens at the end of the season. So we will see that with the official announcement, hopefully here to let us know. Oh, since the season ends on the 15th, that's going to have to be the 19th. I guess we don't have the official on that. Watch out. Keep your eyes open up. I should be announcing that here shortly. But otherwise, for tonight, thank you so much for being here. Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. PT. Upland Discord Cafe on YouTube, on Twitter. Love to see you again. Any questions you have, feel free to send me a DM. Let me know what's going on. And otherwise, plan to see us back here Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. PT. If you know Upland Cafe Discord, feel free to unmute your mics. The floor is yours.